Mr. V. Ganesan IFS is an ingenious and a perspicacious personality. Endowed with the gift of gab, he is rendered competent and inspiring. Let us hear from him. Kindly address the gathering, sir.
Good evening, one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to take part in this school annual day function, the third annual day function of your school. It is really thrilling for me to be amidst of young kids. I have not studied in schools of this standard. I am born in a very humble village, born to illiterate parents. They never had much formal education, but by their hard work, they made me to this level. At the outset, I bow before my parents and the God Almighty who made me, if I were at all something today in the society. Respected Dr. Arthanari, Madam Sister Miriam, Principal of the school, dignitaries on the dais, my dear students, and dear parents. Once again, I take it a pride and privilege to stand before you and say a few words. I have gone a long way in my official career. I had my initial education in a humble rural school up to the 8th standard. Then I moved to the town. I hail from the southernmost tip of this country, Kanyakumari. And I have lived in a sylvan surroundings, very beautiful surroundings. One side sea, the other side mountain, other side water bodies, everywhere, beautiful country, beautiful part of the country. It is still evergreen in my memory because I came long ago, I came from my town and for the sake of education and sake of service, I moved the length and breadth of not only Tamil Nadu, the entire country, even abroad. That gave me a lot of experience for me, not like other department and service. I would like to say one thing to this August gathering, that my department is one of the finest departments in the country, in the world. Many of you may not know, it was founded by a medical doctor. It was founded by a medical doctor. I have great respect for that gentleman. The first conservator of Madras Presidency in the year 1856 is a medical doctor who was the first professor of botany and materia medica in the world-famous Madras Medical College. Madras Medical College came into being in the year 1851. I am fortunate to have by my side an alumnus of the MMC, Dr. Arthanari. It is a rare coincidence, rather it is in life, it happens like that. And I have great respect and reverence for the great man who made my department the service. My department is 158 years old and my service is 148 years old. I belong to this tradition. I belong to this tradition. My dear friends, I never thought in life that I will become something. But after my schooling and college, I was destined to be a doctor. But I chose to study agriculture. It's all by default, it happened in my life. And I joined Forest Service. That is my destiny. 31 years I spent. I studied or I learned everything from the nature, not from the textbooks, no, not from the universities, no. But nature teaches me everything. That gives me everything. I am very fortunate, one among the fortunate people on the earth. I consider myself today. I have not even joined other services like IAS and IPS, though I had a little inclination in the initial years of my trying for the services of the country. Thank God I am in the forest. And you may not know, many of you may not know what is forest and forest service after all. But this place, Salem, is known for one of the famous places, at least you know sandal. The Salem is synonymous with the sandal. In the forestry department, it is synonymous with sandal. Very sad that we have lost the sandal today. And it was protected at this juncture. I only remember the great man, the king, the emperor, or a king or emperor, or whomsoever. It is Tipu Sultan, Mysore king, Maharaja of Mysore, who made sandal a royal timber, and he was a visionary who protected the forest of sandal in Salem districts by bringing in nearly 200 armed guards for the protection. They were chosen from Malabar. The Nayars of Malabar were chosen for the sake of protecting the sandal. That is the history of this place. Coming to my business today before you, my dear friends, I have been reading, before my coming, I have been reading through a book written by our former President of India, that is our Dr. Abdul Kalam, entitled Envisioning an Empowered Nation. He has been talking at length and breadth the role of technology in making this country a strong country, a developed country by 2020. That was a target set. From a third world status or a developing country, we have been growing today, continues to grow, and we are a more developing country today. And definitely, as pointed out, we will emerge as one of the strong nations in the world, and we will become a developed country who can dictate the other nations in the world. We have enough natural resources. We have enough human resources too. But country remains on certain fronts. Country remains backward. Of course, the Indian society is one society which is responsible that way. I consider socially, it is a closed society. So it may not be like a Western society where it is a class-based society. Here is a caste-based society. I don't want to go into those things, no. But thing is, by dint of hard work, we can all make this nation a great nation. There lies our pride. I was happy to look at two letters here in the school, two words, love and service. The whole world longs for the love today. And second thing, there is no selfless service today. We become so much selfish in every front. We become materially concerned today. Not even we do not know who is next to us, who is our neighbor. We don't look at. We don't know the sufferings of the common man. Our role, if you are a human being, it is if you are worth to be called a human being, we should address or relieve the pains and sufferings of the common man. That is the purpose of life. So the education should mold you towards that end. That is my, rather it is not a piece of advice, it is my experience rather that I want to share with you. So Dr. Kalam says in his famous book, the most powerful resource on the earth is the ignited young mind. And we believe that it should be empowered with adequate knowledge and leadership qualities to make the developed India a reality. When I read this, it reminds me something. I used to read everything Indian. Though I appear to be in my dress, in attire I am very different, and I also speak a foreign language before you. But in my thought and action, I am 200% Indian. I delve deep into the Vedas and Upanishads and our Indian thoughts, the thinkers and the Indian thought. It came to my mind that the Indian philosophers and thinkers discovered ages ago that human personality is essentially having 5 layers. This is not taught anywhere outside. In the Western world, Western science doesn't talk about it. It is a doctor who knows physically the body, the anatomy, physiology, chemistry, or whatever, pathology, he can address. But our thinkers address the human personality in 5 layers. If you developed all these 5 layers, you become a full man. That is the purpose of education. That is the purpose of education. The purpose of education, I find I was talking to sister when she came and visited me in my office, that today the Western education hardly talks about 3 skills, imparting 3 skills in the schools or colleges or anywhere. I find that is also imperfect today. That these 3 skills we are worried about is the reading, writing, and arithmetic skill. They are said to be the 3 R's of education. But I said to the sister that we should not rest with that. We should go something more beyond. That is, we should address 3H. That is, address in the head, heart, and hand. That is the philosophy of India. The education should address 3H, not 3 R's. I find something of that sort is going on in this campus. I am very sure that the students who read in this campus definitely will become a very useful citizens of tomorrow. And they will be the future leaders of this country. They will take positions in all the important arena and they hold the name of the country up in the international arena. So I would like to mention, at least for the sake of it, knowing it, I would like to mention what are those 5 layers. It may look little mystic because it is a land of the Siddhas and Seers, Rishis and Munis. See, our Indian culture is the Aranya culture. The realized people learned everything from the nature. I consider myself, I belong to that tradition, though I appear to be very different outwardly. My dear friends and parents and students, the 3 layers are 1. The holistic development should happen in these 3 layers, in the 5 layers. One is the physical, otherwise known as Annamaya. These are the spheres or kosas or the layers In Sanskrit, it is known as kosa. It's a layer. Physically, it's called Annamaya. The vital is called Pranamaya. The mental is called, again, third one is the mental, and fourth one is the Vijnanamaya, or institutional or intellect, intuitional and intellectual. And fifth one is about Anandamaya, that is blissful. The human body is encapsulated in all these, with all these 5 layers. We have not tapped these 5 layers fully, or we have not addressed how to develop these 5 faculties of the human body or the personality. So there is a saying in Tamil, in Siddha, people used to say, Andathil irupade Pindathil. We are nothing but, we are the product of nature. What is outside, we are we are a microcosm. Therefore, all these things are necessary, and education should fulfill not only the physical development, it should also address the mental development, or a healthy, it should address the health. And third one is about the education. Fourth one is about the morals, ethics, and spiritual education. This is one thing which is missing in this country. We produce so much technocrats, so much medical men, very, very big professionals, professors, teachers, scientists. We have 700 million young people who are going to be all. But I don't find, except learning this art and science and picking up some small skills like soft skills, we don't address beyond that. The educational institutions, be it an LKG or UKG, or a middle school or a high school, or a higher secondary school, or a college or university, I don't find some holistic learning happens in many of the places. So my only concern is that your children to be a good leader tomorrow, it lies, the responsibility of course lies with the society, parents, family, and greatly with the teachers and the institutions which make them. Therefore, if my country or our country were to become a developed nation tomorrow in 2020, what is more important is the character building. What is more important is the character building. It should happen